Melcat Catholic Welfare Association in partnership with
Bankstown City Council, MTC Australia, Department of Human Services Centrelink, State Training Services,
Greenacre Area Community Centre
and Bankstown Multicultural Youth Services have worked in collaboration to set up Youth Step Up project.
Some of the issues for young people getting a job are they're not as experienced, so it makes it harder for them when they go for a job and the person asks them if they're good at something and they have no answer for it.
What can help young people get a job? More jobs in local areas, transport will be easier. If you have a job closer to your house, it's more easier to go there.
Also, speaking English, it's easy for me, but some of my friends are from a different culture, so understanding them sometimes it might be a bit hard.
Training, you have to have good role models to copy the job you want from them.
The Youth Step Up project tackles youth unemployment issues head on. And we work on a multidisciplinary approach, and we work in regards to developing soft skills for young people to better move them and transition them into employment and educational pathways. Could you please tell me a little bit about yourself and about how you might be suitable for this particular role?
Well, I helped out at my uncle's shop during the holidays.
Okay.
I can't work on Thursdays, and I think and I've got stuff to do on Saturdays, so I might be able to work half day sometimes.
Do you think when I asked her questions about her suitability for the role, do you think she answered that question?
No.
She's not available on Thursday night and Saturday.
Likely not going to hire as a. My name is Khan. I'll be interviewing you this morning.
Nice to
Please
meet
take a
you.
seat.
Thank you. Have you had a good day?
I have. Thank you for asking. And thank you for being here on time. So you get to be able to stay on time.
Very important.
We work with a lot of contractors on site. If there's an issue or conflict, how would you manage that?
Well, I had a look on your website and it mentioned about special procedures for subcontractors and contractors. So I noticed that it mentioned that I had to go to my direct supervisor who was managing the contractors, and that I'd have to raise it with him.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in this morning. Appreciate that. Lovely to meet you today. So it's very important for you to project yourself in a very positive light from the get-go. So I judged him from the moment he walked in by the fact that he was punctual, and I thought this is a great start to an interview, and everything else was just ticking it off. That's all that was doing.
Our aim is to empower young people and teach them that the cultural diversity is actually an asset.
Apparently, the length of your name can impact on whether someone will look at your resume or not look at your resume. So what I can do, call the person I'm trying to apply for this job for. I'll say, hi, my name is Turkan. Make sure that it's nice and clean slide so they've heard it. And I'll say, oh, I'm interested in this position you're advertising. Tell me a little bit about it. And I'll make sure I use their name. And at the end of it, I'll say, oh, Jan, I actually know that really does interest me. I'm going to forward my resume to you. So if they know my name, they know that my resume is coming. So when they see my resume, they go, oh, actually, Turkan called. She's definitely interested in this position. You know what? They want that more than their judgment on your name. They want someone who's going to work hard and do the right thing.
MTC Australia is a not-for-profit organisation that has been working in the Sydney community for over 20 years. We offer support through a range of training courses, employment services, youth programs and community initiatives.
State Training Services is part of the Youth Step Up project. We look after apprenticeships, traineeships and vocational education and training in New South Wales, and we want to stress to youth in Bankstown the importance of getting training to develop their careers.
We're the only place in New South Wales that does glass and glazing, and O'Brien's might ring up the college and say, oh, I hear you have a pre-vocational course going. We're looking for some people, how many students do you have? And the guy will say, oh, TAFE's only got 15 per class. Oh, we've got 14. And he says, what do they like? And he'll say, oh, I've got 12 that are pretty committed. And you know what O'Brien's do? They take the whole 12 and give them an apprenticeship.
We hope that this program will serve to support many of the at-risk, disadvantaged and marginalised young people within our community and offer them a greater pathway to greater career opportunities.
We believe that everyone deserves the same opportunity, and we are very proud to be part of the Youth Step Up project. Thank you.
For the first 2 years of arrival, new residents do not have immediate access to social security payments or concession cards. Their visa status will determine their eligibility to accessing employment services. Also, they may not have local knowledge or prior learning may not be recognised. Support services need to be created as a centralised coordination point. State and federal requirements are currently disjointed. A large part of the problem is language, literacy and numeracy skills. The main priority for refugees is to find a place to work and live. This means that they often miss out on the 510 hours of free English classes provided within the first 5 years of arrival. If refugees continue to study, they can obtain Centrelink payments. So the dilemma is, do they look for work or stay studying English? What would help is better coordination between language and employment services in order for refugees to make their way through educational pathways and to obtain employment. Many refugees and migrants witness discrimination daily, which is oppressive and destructive for their employment journey. They can become depressed. Their accent, the way they look, and what they believe affects their job prospects. People's perceptions need to change so they too can have an even playing field. Refugees and migrants don't want to be excluded or denied in pursuing their dreams. Get to know your refugee and migrant clients. What is the migration status and eligibility to programs or support? Do they need help orientating? What are their strengths around language, experience, skills, social needs, engagement, and importantly, capacity? If you set them out to fail, it will leave a long-term effect in their job-seeking process. Do they need courses, a placement, and match them to the right agencies? This resource has been brought to you by the Youth Step Up program. Youth Step Up focuses on providing a cultural bridge into the Australian labour market, equipping refugee and migrant youth with the tools they need to find their way in this sometimes complicated system they need to navigate. Youth Step Up partners include Melkite Catholic Welfare Association, MTC Australia, Department of Human Service Centrelink, New South Wales Education and Communities State Training Services, Bankstown Multicultural Youth Services, Greenacre Area Community Centre, and Bankstown City Council.